Hello fellow engineers and welcome to Shapes 2 or Shapez 2 if you're that way inclined. Oh my god, are there looping trains now? What are these? They weren't in the demo. Anyway, we can start a new save name, the strongest Shapez. We can put our own seed in, nice. And then during sign up we need to say we are not going to build spaghetti factories, but there's conveyor belts. And I like spaghetti factories. I don't know if I can check this. Anyway, if you've never seen this game before, basically you've got these little areas here and they produce shapes. So coming out of this circle is going to be a white circle that's sort of split into like quarters. How I like to cut slices of cake. But down here we have an extractor. So we can shove that on here, rotate that way. And then you can see these shapes come out on conveyor belts like that. Now in the top left we have a milestone to collect 10 of these. So all we got to do is take conveyor belts over this way. When we get to the edge here, we get a very efficient looking like jump pad thing. And basically these little spinners make our shapes fly over the gap. And then we take these from here all the way over to this thing, which will eat up all of the shapes we send into it. And again, the power of efficient engineering flings those shapes into there. And then I can only imagine what they're used for down there. And then our milestones produce, and then we get new shapes to make. But before we go any further, a very quick story time with Matt. Almost exactly 4 years ago today, back when I was a young juvenile YouTuber making videos after work when I probably should have been sleeping, I got my first ever sponsor, Shapes.io, which I absolutely loved, and I'll add that video to my end screen so you can check it out yourself. But flash forward to today, 4 years later, and we've gone full circle. The developer has very kindly sponsored this video too. So please support those who support me by boosting the link in the description to check out Shapes 2 yourself. Story time with Matt. And anyway, the dev has actually challenged me to use the power of engineering to try and break the game. So we'll see how that goes. But for now, we've got to get as much stuff unlocked as possible, because completing these milestones, that gets us new toys we can play with. So if we want to make a semicircle, we have down here a cutting tool. So if we extract another circle here, then wang a cutting tool in, you can see this uses advanced laser technology to melt away half of the shape. And then we can just connect that up to this conveyor belt, and then you can see we've got semicircles coming along there. However, we need 40 of them, so I've just made those go a lot quicker. We then need squares. Now I don't think there's any squares here, because if you look like under this platform, they're huge circles that are being extracted. So I think this is like the circle area. If we head around, we've got, yes, up here, the squares. So we only need 10 of these, so I think let's just grab 4 of those, merge them all together, and then bring them straight down. Oh, look at that. We're like speed running this game now. Anyway, there's all the semicircles coming in. There's all the squares coming in, which means we've got more shapes unlocked. So it looks like we just need like another cutter again, because we want to turn these semicircles into quarter circles. Now, however, if we just wang another cutting tool in, it tries to cut the same piece and it does nothing because there's nothing there. So what we need to do, we need to use this first. So if we just delete all of those, add rotators to all of them, we can then cut again here and then just conveyor belt back down to there. So now we have our semicircles. I imagine we're going to have to do the same with these. So we'll do those first. Maybe on this side I'll do the quarter squares just ready. And then our milestone's completed, so we can come up to this milestones tab and we can unlock the stacker and the second floor. So now our shapes get a little bit more interesting. Can you see this one here? It's a square, but it's got a circle on top of it. So if we come over to our squares, we're going to need these. So let's just extract these out there, take them along a conveyor belt. Right, so I've brought the squares all the way over to where the circles are. What I want to do with the circles, because these have to be above, what I'm going to do, I'm going to extract these out this way onto conveyor belts like that. But then we're going to go up. And look, we are now up in the air, which means we can come over to this jump pad, and then we're jumping like on a second level. So if I just do all of these to go up like that, we've then got circles up here. You can see squares are beneath. So we can then use this, the stacker. And then if we shove that there, we can plumb in the squares underneath. We can plumb in the circles to the top. And you can see squares are beneath, circles on top. They get stacked, which means as the conveyor belt comes out here, we've got that new shape that we need. Nice. However, we do need 240, and this is quite a slow process. So let's try and make this a little bit more efficient by adding some extra stackers. So that should be extracting like 4. They all come, they get merged together, but then they get split off again. So rather than one lowly shape going down the conveyor belt, they're now in groups of 4. Decent. The other shape we've got to do, we've got to stack quarters. So what I'm thinking, the quarters we've got here, if we just go from here and we go up, we can do the same sort of thing, but we're stacking on this side. So this should be more efficient, but it does take up space like over here where we may want to just try and get like the plain shapes out, because you got way more space in this middle area than these areas up here. So maybe that's a bit silly. In fact, it might be worth just bringing like squares all the way out. Don't do any chopping or anything up that end. But for now, we've got our little shape thing. So you can see they're flying in. You can also see as well, you've got ticks and crosses at the end. That means whether we're contributing to a milestone or a task, because worth noting, we've got all these tasks as well, which unlock us research points, and we can spend those research points on upgrades to like make belts faster, cutting or stacking faster, loads of different stuff. We can even unlock a label. So I'm going to pin some of these tasks. Oh, I'm going to pin all of them actually, just so I know what I'm doing. So now over on the left, this is what we're aiming for. And I think I'm going to do what I said before, just extract like all the shapes. And I want to know like how many extractors like fill up a conveyor. Because like with 4, there's a big queue. With 2, there doesn't seem to be. So I guess let's just take all of these down next to it. All right, so we need circles on top of circles. And since we've got loads of circles up on this level, what I'm thinking, we just bring a new arm over to here, wang a couple of stackers down, and then we got circles on top of circles. You then need squares on top of squares. So I've just brought some squares over at a high level. You can see beneath, there's already some squares. So if we do that, we do the same underneath. You can then stack those to get the squares on the squares. In fact, I might even take these squares like around, just a bit of a detour. So I got space to grab these squares on top of squares and just wang them back in there. All right. However, it doesn't stop there. We've got squareception. Squares on top of squares on top of squares. So I think what I'll do, I'll take these ones down like this way, and then underneath I can take those squares on top of squares out, because this should create the squareception. Yeah, look, it's getting like squished on top of there. Nice. Squares on top of squares on top of squares. So we're now making most things. We've got our milestone 2. We need to get 400 of those. Isn't that something we're sort of making? Yeah, look, it's just this one, but cut in half. So tell you what I'll do. Let's just delete that area. We can then just wang some scissors at the end of all of those, and then we've made that shape straight away. And I think as well, if you click this milestones button, you can also see like what the next milestone is. So that's the one we've just done. You can see later on we're going to have to quarter it as well. So that will involve just rotating and then cuttering again. So I'll look to do that a bit later. For now, we've still got one more shape to make. Half a square with a quarter of a circle. Now we've got quarter circles here, and we've got half squares over there. So if I just delete this back up to here, I can take these up a level, bring them all the way over here, and then bring them down to the same level. Oh, that's quite cool. Look, it's like it's the down and a corner. Or is it sad? I sort of want to see like how this works, because like the upper level things are quite cool. Like the lifts, they're like little arms that like take your pizza up. Yeah, I'm just intrigued to see like how these bars, like, because it will go down and spin, but surely if it spins about that axis, the shape will end up over there. Oh, I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued to see the mechanism of this. All right, ready? This is the moment we've been waiting for. So it goes down. Oh, it goes back and just like flings it forward. Interesting. Right. Well, anyway, we've got to combine with these squares to make that. So we're going to have to do some sort of rotatey stuff. So what I'm thinking, if we rotate you end up the top. We rotate you end up in the right place. Okay, so we just got to rotate these twice, I think. Yeah, and to be honest, I don't think I want to bring these down because I need to stack these together. So I want my rotator up on this level, like there, and then my stacker there, so that when I go up here and plumb that in, we should end up with the shape that we want. If we look like this direction, yeah, that is it. That is the shape we wanted. Nice, and we've completed our first pin task, which means we get our first ever research point. unlock. Unfortunately, nothing costs just 1 research point, so we got to keep going with those. And actually, the one we completed, which was this one, you can see that's got to be cut in half. So if I just shove a cutter up here, then that should make the new shapes that we need. All right, so we're now working towards all these tasks, all these milestones. I can see, though, there's not much efficiency going on. This is, like, super slow. So I think what I want to do, I want to sort of push all these back and just make, like, loads more of them. So if we go for, let's do 6 stackers. We can then bring this one over here. So I'm going to bring the main shapes to the middle of these 3, and then we're going to branch off from there. Likewise, over here, we're going to... Oh, I don't have the space. We're going to have to move forward a little bit so it looks like that, because that means, like, everything's being split, like, from the middle, so it's much more equal. Whereas up here, like, this one on the left is always going to get more circles, because I think the split is, like, half. So half go down, half go right, and then we're sort of filling up. As we sort of extend this way, we're going to end up with less and less. Like, as we start adding these, the shapes aren't really going to get over, like, to these ones very often, compared to if we have 6 with this layout in the back. This should be much more efficient. So I'll just do the same for the above, and then obviously I've just put all the cutters back down, so they all go back onto the same conveyor belt. So that should have tripled the speed that we were making this semicircle thing, the stacked one. And then over this way, you can see exactly what I mean. Like, these circles, they don't tend to get up to, like, this stacker very often compared to, like, this stacker. Whereas over this side, much more even. Anyway, looking at this as well, I'm sort of thinking if I take these ones up in the air, so we do that, we can then get rid of that arm. So we should be doing this a lot better. I mean, I could even split like 2 and 2 as well. So like these 2 can just come out and go straight up like that. I think that will be much quicker. Now, over this way, likewise, we can just double the speed of all this stuff. I mean, maybe triple. Why not triple? So there we go, much better. And we're about to complete 2 pin tasks, which means we got a load of research points, which means we can add some RC propaganda to our video, as well as other useful information. Anyway, I've got to half these again. So these have all got to be rotated and then cut again. So now we've got stacked quarter circles. The square upon a square upon a square now needs another square on top of the squares. So I think what I'll do, if I bring these over here, underneath I can just delete all that conveyorage, bring those straight out. So then we can stack those. So that gives us the triple stack. I think I'm going to fuel these by another up in the air bridge, so it works like that. That should be good. So we end up with triple stackers, but we need another square on top of that. Now, I don't actually know, is that the best way of doing this? Or should I just stack like the stacked ones on top? Because that's only one more process, right? I assume I can stack a stacked item. Does that... if this is making any sense. So yeah, if we just do straight out and add another stacker here, we can just grab these squares to go into the back, which is fine. But maybe I just want to make more double stackers and then stack those. I want to see if that works, actually. So if I just extend this out this way, and then I bring that up. So we got double stackers up in the air there. Down there, I can bring the stackers out, which means we can shove a stacker there. Yeah, look, it does make it. So a double stacker on top of a double stacker makes the quad stacker. So I just have to work out, like, which way is more efficient. Oh man, it's like I've made loads of, like, Aztec pyramids. They're so tall. Right, anyway, this thing, I think it's sort of over now, is it? Yeah, we've got a new one. We've just got to chop it in half. So would it be more worthwhile doing the chopping here? Probably. So if we shove cutters there, the rotation beforehand, then they should go in, get cut into a square, then they still do the rotatey thing, so that by the time they come out this end, they're exactly what we're after to do that task. Nice. We've also completed another task, more science, and I think it's time. Let's make our belts faster for 2. We can make everything faster. We'll make cutting faster and stacking faster. So now everything should move a lot quicker and things are looking good. Right, I'm just gonna like flash forward for you guys a little bit because I wanna get to some of the like later stuff, because yeah, we're gonna unlock blueprints so we can cut and copy stuff a bit easier. That'll be handy. But I want to find out what space platforms are, because I never got that far on the demo. So I'll see you in a minute.
346 minutes later.
Right, so it's been a little while now. You'll notice the place looks a little bit different. There's a lot more going on here now, but I have been busy and I found out you can unlock tasks later on. Look, they do just like stack up. So I've got all of these tasks to unlock, which will give us a load of research points, of which I haven't spent any. So these have just been burning a hole in my pocket, but I really want to get down to here, unlocking the 3rd floor, but I need 50. Now, if we just go and unlock all of the ones that we've done. Oh yes, look at the notifications. We end up with 62 research points. So we can unlock that third floor. Boosh. And then we've got 12 points to spend on the rest. Now you will notice there's no more tasks to do. I've done them all. If you wanted to watch me do that, I do actually have an archive channel because I streamed the entire thing on Twitch. So go check that out. But for now, in order to get more tasks, I got to get my operator certification. And I think all I've got to do is just finish this milestone that I'm currently working on. Then we'll also find out what space platforms are. And I think these combined with the third level should help us to try and break the game. But for now, I'm actually having too fun playing it legit. Yes, this is actually legit how I play this game. It looks neat to me in my head. It works. So we've just got to wait for milestone 3 to be completed. Okay, there we go. All done. So we can unlock space platforms. Although annoyingly, they've added a platform limit. They're on to my every move. Right, so I think that means we can now zoom out and we can come over to like all these random shapes and stuff. Because look, we've now got different colored requirements in our milestones. So if we want half a red semicircle, I guess we could come to this one and then cut it off. But yeah, because we're zoomed out, we're now in the space platform thing. So it looks like we have a space miner. So like we can shove that down on there. And then, oh yeah, zoom in. That creates one of those, which has opened that up. How do I open up the other section so we can have more shapes coming out? Oh, look, rather than the shape miner, we use the shape miner extension. So when we push those down, that adds shapes and you can stack these up. So with 3 chained together like that, there's now 4 holes open that we can mine from. So if we zoom right in, we can add all of our extractors onto all of these. And then we can bring these to here. Actually, what happens here? They get flung off. Oh no, they don't get flung off at all because there's nowhere for them to go. So if we go back into this mode, oh, it looks like we can put foundations on. So that allows us to have more area that we can put little conveyor belts. Alternatively though, if we delete those, look down here, space belts. So we could, oh look, they turn into giant one. Oh my goodness, look how big they are.
That's what she said.
Hang on, so when I'm zoomed out, look at the size of them on the conveyor belts. But if I zoom in, they go small. And then they're just these little shapes, but they're not moving along the actual belt. But zoom out. Okay, I think that's just like an icon to show how they're moving. And let me just check something. If I do like a really long belt, do they suddenly... Okay, they don't actually have the shapes on until like this point. So I'm assuming if we just connect all of these up like that, so that is now 4 rows jumping onto there. Yeah, look at the belt. It's covered in the shapes. Oh, so this could be how we do it. I assume, yeah, on here we can't cut these up or anything. I think we'd have to go to a foundation and then to get them off the belt, I can just add these little ramps. Then we can add our cutter and then we've got the shapes that we need. So I guess now we just go straight across the other side onto another space belt. Well, that's cool. That's the shape we need. Okay, so let's just quickly head back because we've got to take this over to here. So have we got many like inns? Is that an inn? Oh, yes. Okay, you can see there's like a little ledge here. So we can get this into the center. We're just adding our 4 ramps and then just taking these like down this way around here. And then when they arrive, they'll jump into the hole. Cool. So here comes the first ones. They seem to move really fast. Fair play. And yeah, we need 1,200 of those. We also need 1,200 of these little blue squares. Oh, and what I've just realized, look up here, the platform units, the conveyor belt counts towards platform units. So using these conveyor belts is probably not as good as using like a foundation. Let's just see this platform unit 365. If I put a foundation down, oh, they count as 2 and a space belt counts as 1. So what's going to be more taxing on the game? Conveyor belt that long or this where we can have 3 different layers. Remember, we've unlocked a 3rd layer now of conveyor belts. I think this is the play if we're going to try and break this thing. Anyway, you can see the semicircles are entering the abyss now. So let's go find some blue squares. And this time, rather than making this ourselves, I think we can probably just find one on the map, right? So like if we zoom out really far, yeah, look, you can see there's loads of shapes. It looks like it's on a grid system. So you can see we're on row A here. Over to the left, there's like different letters, like it's the alphabet. And if we start from where we are, the numbers go down as well. So if I've got a platform limit of 500, I can go down at least 500 spaces looking. So let's just scroll down. Like fair play, looking around, there's lots of like weird shapes all dotted about there. Right, so I've made it down to 508. Oh no, I've just realized something. The grids are like grids. I can't. Oh wow. Okay, game's Game's not liking being this far away. What's going on? I'm trying to just put it down in one place. But yeah, I've just realized like a grid isn't one. A grid is like, oh man, how big is a grid? It's like 3 squares. Oh yeah, I'm miles away. A grid is nearly half of my block limit, if it will let me. Let's try and delete that. Oh, no. Okay, we're good. We're good. It's deleted. People, when I said I was playing this on my Discord, people did tell me it was infinite. So I'm wondering if we were to just, like, go down forever, is there an edge? All right, so we'll just leave that running. Good old camera stand, pressing the down button. Come on, Paddy. Let's go play outside. Paddy the dog. All right, that was good fun, Pad, but back to work for me. Oh, no. Oh, no. All right, take that stupid thing off. How long did I play? 6 hours wasted. Hey, at least I get paid now, I guess. So if we just get back into this and go to continue, where does it put us? Oh. Okay, so we are somewhere. There's literally... Oh, look, there are shapes. There are shapes. Do you see that? Hang on, there's shapes. If we... Oh, God. Oh, dear. If we zoom in... Oh, my goodness. Is that a shape? What is that? Oh, things are really not good back here. Really not good. I wonder if the developer's having any regrets right now. Anyway, let's have a go down here. Let's do a shape miner on one of these things. Oh, wow. They are not very evenly shaped. What is going on here? I'm trying to find a place where my mouse will actually put one of these down. Oh, did you see that? Yes. Okay, just got to do it while you're zooming in and out. So this... Oh. Oh, wow. Okay, don't change the angle, Matt. This does not look good. I want to know what grid I'm... Hang on, can I go back and like zoom out a little bit? Will it tell me the grid? It's all empty darkness. Oh, there you go. What was that? Can anyone see a number there? Is that like 13,000? Oh, yes, look. The game's running. Okay, 13,803. Oh, yeah, but as soon as we zoom in, it's bad. Oh, no. Oh, no. And like, what are these shapes meant to be? What is that? They're all just slithers. I mean, that looks like a normal shape. Oh, yeah. So I think when you zoom out, I think that's what the shape is meant to look like, probably. And then when you zoom in, it's like, it's an upside down coffin. What else do we have around? Oh, we don't have graphics. We just don't have graphics. I don't know if these are legitimate shapes or the game's just like... Well, I mean, clearly the game's not quite right. You can tell by that. But yeah, I don't know. Let's press home so we can go back to our main base. Are things all gravy back here? Yes. We have graphics. Oh, it's all working perfectly. Okay, so we don't have to worry at all. We broke the game, but we can still play. Yay. Anyway, I did just want to see what comes next in terms of upgrades. Oh, look, painting. So rather than finding like the colors you need, you can just paint them. Presumably like that is like a red bit of paint. That there is a bit of blue paint. Oh, that would be useful. Then after that, oh, we got trains and it comes with a train launcher. All right, and then there's a pin pusher, color mixing, crystals, and oh my goodness. Absolute carnage, as well as a whole heap of tasks. Oh, I never scrolled down. There's like wires and logic gates. Oh my goodness. But yeah, I think for now, as the game's back to normal and working properly, I think we should probably leave it there for today. If you do want to see more, boost the like button. Don't forget to boost the link in the description to check out the game itself. Thank you so much to the devs for supporting the channel and letting me destroy their game. But yeah, hope you enjoyed. For now, I'll say peace, love, and I wonder what they're really doing with all those shapes down there. Bye!